Hi guys, this is George back here with another vlog, and today I am here at Fun Spot Atlanta for my first ever visit. And today is a really it's going to be a weird day today. This is going to be my first and last ever visit to this park, because on the 2nd of August this park is going to be closing permanently. This park is home to Air Force One, an RMC coaster that opened in 2023, and it's one of the most highly regarded roller coasters in the world, and it's been a massive bucket list coaster of mine ever since it was announced. So as soon as the news was announced that this park was going to be closing, then I knew I had to come and ride this. Of course, at the moment I'm doing my summer program in Orlando, so I was already in Orlando and I was like, yep, I'm getting a flight straight over here so I can come and ride this ride. And here I am. So I flew in this morning. I'm flying back to Orlando tonight. I was supposed to be flying here yesterday evening, but my flight got cancelled, so I got an early flight here this morning. And yeah, I'm going to be here for the day, and then I've got a flight going back to Orlando tonight. So it's a last minute trip, this one. I'm literally here just doing a day trip, but I can't wait to get on this coaster. I'm not going to start off with it though, because there are a couple of other coasters here that I want to go and experience first, and that's because that I've got a very special milestone coming up later, so I need to get on the other two coasters before I can get on this one for that milestone, and I'll explain about that a bit later. But yeah, I'm going to head over to the other side of the park. I've literally just walked over here because I wanted to get some photos and do my intro here, but I'm going to head back over to the front of the park so I can get on the other two coasters. So this park has got a bit of a reputation for looking abandoned, and as soon as I walked into this place I could see it. It's like, I don't know, it just, like, there's a couple of rides going round, you've got the music on, but it just feels like there's not really anyone around here, and it's kind of just built on half of it's a car park and half of it's just a random field. Like, it's very weird. It's a very different kind of vibe to the Orlando parks, where they're normally quite busy and quite a good atmosphere, whereas yeah, there's not really a lot going on here. You can see one of the other coasters behind me, Hurricane. They've got one of these at Fun Spot Kissimmee, and it's absolutely terrible, but I am going to go for a ride because it is a credit after all that I need to get. And behind me just here, we've also got the other credit as well, the Sea Serpent coaster, which is a tiny little kids coaster. So yeah, I'm hopefully going to get on both of these. That's if they're open. They don't look like they're open. Like, there's no staff or anyone around here. So I guess maybe if I just wait outside the ride, maybe it's like a staff rotation thing. So we'll find out. So I just had a ride on Sea Serpent, and it was a janky little thing, that this is an E&F Miller kids coaster, and yeah, they are known for being quite janky, and it definitely was, but you know what, it was a credit that I needed to get, so I'm glad that I got on it. The staff member also said that Hurricane's not opening until 12, which is over an hour away, so I guess I'm waiting around until then before riding Air Force One, because I'll explain it now. Air Force One is going to be my 400th roller coaster, and I'm currently at 398. I need to get on Hurricane for 399, and then make Air Force my 400th. So there we go. I'm literally waiting around for that. Now maybe I can do some of these other flat rides, because there are a few other flat rides around. This park is pretty much just like some temporary kind of funfair rides that are just plopped onto like an abandoned looking field and car park. Like, the pathways are all like, it does look really abandoned here. Like, all the pathways just look like they haven't had any love. Like, all the loads of the grass around here is just dead and all dried up. It's kind of like sandy as well. Like, it's a mix between grass and sand. Like, it's a very weird vibe here so far. But yeah, at 12 o'clock apparently there's more staff coming in, which is when like some of the other rides open, including Hurricane. So when people say this park looks abandoned, yeah, I get it now. Like, literally, like, this is just an old car park over here. Like, half of the rides aren't operating. I think those like Swift Eagles are operating. I've already seen them going round, so I might see if I can get on that. I've never done one of those before, but literally I'm just waiting for Hurricane to open at this point, and then I'll just lap Air Force One all day, I guess. Like, there's a couple of other rides over there, but there's no one over there. It's just like, it feels really awkward walking around this park. It's just weird. It's very weird. So I've just had a ride on the Screaming Eagles, which was good fun there. I've never done one of those before. Basically, you have a handle on there and you control it yourself, and you push it to the side and it catches the wind, and then it makes you kind of spin around. It's kind of like a traditional wave swinger, but instead, yeah, you control it yourself and make it so it can swing round, like catch the wind and swing around different angles. It was quite a lot of fun actually, and decent length cycle as well. I've just seen Hurricane going round as well, so it's opened early, which is fantastic. So I'm gonna go and get on there now, and then it's going to be time to ride Airy Force 1, and I'm so excited for it. I'm actually dreading getting on this coaster because, yeah, there's one the same as this, or very similar at least, at Fun Spot Kissimmee, and it's one of the worst coasters I've been on. But I do need the credit, so I'm going to go for a ride on this piece of jank. So I had my ride on Hurricane, and to be fair, it wasn't as bad as the one in Kissimmee. However, it was still very janky. There was some really fun moments of airtime on there. I had a really loose restraint, and there were a couple of moments. There was a double down, and then also a really small airtime hill towards the end as well that gave some really good ejector airtime. I did really enjoy those parts, but whenever it turns back round, oh my god, I don't know why it tracks like that going around those turns. There's not a lot of banking anyway, but it just jolts you to the side, and it's really uncomfortable going around those turns. Like, very, very weird. I don't know what it is. It just tracks really weirdly compared to a lot of other coasters. Like, even a typical Wild Mouse is very different to that. It's like, it's much more of a jolt to the side. It was, yeah, not the most amount of fun. However, it's definitely better than the one in Kissimmee. But there we go. It is now time. 399 coasters, and I'm about to go and ride not only a massive bucket list roller coaster, but my 400th roller coaster. So let's go and do this.
Zach loved it.
So 400 coasters has been ticked off. Absolutely incredible, and that was a fantastic ride to have as my 400th coaster. So I had two rides on it. My first ride was on the front, and then I had a ride on the second to back row. It's absolutely incredible. One of the most aggressive roller coasters I've ever been on. The airtime on there is insane. The elements, there's 4 inversions, lots of airtime, and it is absolutely crazy intense. One of my favorite elements is the outer bank just over here. You can see it just there. That's one of my favorites. I also love the barrel roll over the arcade building. That's really good. And the finale has got to be the best finale I've ever experienced on a roller coaster. 6 back-to-back airtime hills that absolutely chuck you out of your seat. It is absolutely wild. It might not be the longest of RMC coasters, but that is definitely one of the better ones. It's easily a top 10 roller coaster for me. It's been a while since I came off it. It must have been probably about half an hour since my last ride, and I've kind of just been processing it, like whereabouts in my top 10 does it sit, because I'm really struggling to rank coasters now. It is so difficult, especially when you've got like so many different roller coasters that are so different from each other. It's so difficult to be able to rank them, but this is definitely one of my favorite RMCs. I think I might prefer it to Iron Gwazi. However, I'm not 100% sure yet, but I don't think I'd take it over Zadra or Steel Vengeance. So that's where I am at the moment with this, but it's an incredible ride. I absolutely love it to bits. I can't wait for more rides. I mean, literally, like, there's not really a lot else to see at this park, so it's literally just going round and getting re-rides on this now. So over in this area of the park, it's kind of like all of the smaller rides, like the kids' rides. You've got a little drop tower just over there, but you've also got Hot Seat over here, the S&S Scream and Swing. And yeah, these are really good rides. However, this hasn't been operating for a while, it looks like. Yeah, it says it's down for maintenance, but to be honest, this park only closes in about a week's time, so this clearly isn't going to be reopening. Hopefully this will get relocated though, because these are really good fun rides. It's weird only seeing one with the one arm though, rather than the 2 swings next to each other. There goes Airy Force 1. Absolutely incredible. I've just had another 2 rides on there. It's getting even better. It's so fast, like, it's crazy. There we go. Yeah, it just looks really run down around here, doesn't it? And just behind me, you've got the arcade building as well. So there's a restaurant in here, arcade machines, and it's a big building and it's all themed to Wild West. And it's really cool actually, very well themed. It's like basically the only theming in this park, but it looks really nice. It's really well done with the Western theme. There's also a Sizzler over here. I think this one's closed at the moment though, I'm not sure. I can't remember. There were 3 rides that were listed on the website as closed. That might have been one of them. Another one of them is over there. I would have given that a go as well, but yeah, I'm assuming these aren't going to be reopening. You've got one of those little spinning rides over there. They've got one of those at Great Yarmouth Pleasure Beach. Hopefully that will be relocated. They could easily send that to one of the Orlando parks. Like, they haven't got anything like that over there. And it's not as if it takes up a huge footprint. And then of course you've got Hurricane over there as well. Like, just look at it over here. Like, you look over here, it's like there's weeds all growing through the pathways, and like, it just looks, it really does look abandoned. Like, it's a really interesting place. So it's just absolutely thrown it down for like about 10 minutes. I've had quite a few rides on Air Force One now. I've done it 9 times now so far today. It's been a while since that last clip. I've literally pretty much just been like going for a couple rides on there, and then I'd go and sit inside for a bit and enjoy the air conditioning, and then come and get more rides on it again. Like, it's been so hot today, and then all of a sudden the rain just came in when I was on the front row of Air Force One, and that was a funny ride. Like, it started absolutely throwing it down just as we dispatched the station. So yeah, we were going around in the rain. It was very painful, but it was a great ride. And do you know what? This ride is getting even better. It's warming up so much. It is absolutely flying through that layout now. I don't know if it is yet, but like, it definitely has the potential to be a #1 coaster. It's absolutely phenomenal. I think the one thing that's holding it back from being a #1 coaster is the fact that it is quite painful with the amount of airtime and also those RMC restraints. This isn't an issue with just this ride. This is an issue with RMC coasters in general. The restraints are not very comfortable, especially for tall people. I've had 9 rides on it now, and my legs and my waist are like, they're hurting, especially like kind of my lower leg, like just under my knees where like the leg restraint is, where the shin guard kind of restraint, like, it's hurting. I'm definitely going to be having bruises there tomorrow because of how much airtime you actually get on there and how tight the restraints do get on there. That's the one thing that's preventing this from being a #1 coaster, I think. And of course, my #1 coaster at the moment is Steel Vengeance, which again is another RMC coaster with the same trains. However, it's been a long time since I rode Steel Vengeance, and like, I've got a lot taller since then as well. So maybe, like, hopefully at some point I'll get back on Steel Vengeance. Hopefully whilst I'm here in the States, that would be great. Like, if I do some traveling after my program, I do hope to get back to Cedar Point. So hopefully I will be getting back on it later this year, and I'll be able to try it out again. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what I think of it now, because yeah, I have grown, like, I've got a lot taller since then, so I'm definitely getting more like sensitive to these RMC trains now, with the fact that like, the taller you are, the more uncomfortable they are going to be, and that is the one thing that is preventing this coaster from being a #1 coaster. It's definitely a top 5. However, I think there's a couple of RMCs that maybe could be a bit, like Steel Vengeance and Zardra, I might still put above it, and then I think I'd put Shambhala just above it as well, just because like, that's a lot more re-rideable with the fact that it's much more comfortable. But other than that, it's a phenomenal roller coaster, one of the best coasters in the world. So there we go, it has come to the end of my visit. I've had another 2 rides on Air Force One, 11 rides in total. It's an incredible ride, like, genuinely, I really want to put it at #1, but I think I need to get back on Steel Vengeance first, because that is a longer ride. But this ride is just so powerful. The airtime on there, the finale, the inversions, it's an absolutely incredible ride. So I think I need some time to be able to process it. For now I'm putting it at #2, no question. Although, like, sure, it's not a very comfortable ride, and I do typically enjoy a coaster where you can just keep going round and round and round on it without experiencing any discomfort. And I can't lie, my shins and my waist are absolutely killing. Like, it hurts, but it was worth it for that coaster. I've had 11 rides on it, and I'm so grateful to have been able to come and experience this coaster and this park before it closes next week. Of course, We don't know what the future holds for a lot of these rides. There's been a lot of rumours that Airy Force One is going to be getting relocated. I'm confident that it will get relocated. However, just in case, I made sure to come and visit this park before it did close, just in case this is the end of this coaster. Of course, that is the reason to come to this park. The rest of the park is nothing special. However, this is an incredible coaster and it is definitely worth coming to visit if you are visiting before August 2nd, which is when the park is going to close. But hopefully we will see new life for Airy Force One at another park. But there we go, that's now the end of this vlog here. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure to follow me on Instagram at George Kelly and follow me on Twitter at George Kelly. Thank you very much for watching. Stay safe everyone, and I will see you all later. Bye.